Today we're going to look at exercise 9.00. This assignment only has 2 exercises to it, so it's fairly short. Exercise 4.1 asks us to write an application program. We're asking the user for 2 strings of characters. And then we're going to tell the user whether they're equal to each other, but tell this user to stop fooling around if either entry is null. Okay, we're looking at 2 inputs. We're going to initialize 2 strings. If we're going to have a dialog box, right, of some kind, we need to initialize J option pane. So we have 2 input dialog boxes, right? So one of them is going to have the message, enter text. Well, they both are actually. So if the two inputs are equal, we're going to show a message that they're equal. If the 2 dialogs are different, we're going to show a message that they're different. So we're going to start off with an if statement here to test to see if the strings are empty. We're looking at this. This is a is empty method. It's not S1 equals null, not not one with a double equals null, or an S1 is equal to null in a parentheses, because this one will actually produce something. This one will bring up an error code, but neither one of these will do anything if there's nothing in the string. Okay, you have to use the is empty method. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. You're going to be importing your JAVX string, of course, and here's your dialog box text. You're going to instantiate 2 strings. You're going to put in the dialog boxes for each of the texts here, and you're going to have your if code here. Once again, this is S1 is empty, not equals null, not equals null this way or equals null this way, is empty. It's a method, okay? So here we have, if they do this, we're going to produce an error message. And that's why I have here error message. You don't need this. Like this up here, you can truncate it after stop fooling around. But I think this is kind of neat. It actually says error on it, and it's kind of cool to know J option pane dot error message. And the same way, you could make these ones up here information methods. Okay, what you need to do is after null, comma, enter text null, you could put something like, say you want it to say exercise 4.1 in the corner. The next thing, see how this says error? You could put comma, exercise 4.1, comma, and then you would put in here J option pane dot information message. Just like this says an error message. I just put it in here to be funny, but because you haven't been introduced to this either, but I think it's kind of fun to put them out there. At any rate, here we go. Otherwise, if S1 equals S2, you put up an equals with a smiley face. Otherwise, you put a different with a frowny face. That's what I did. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. Okay, here we are in Blue Jay. I'm going to enter a new class. I'm going to call this class name Exercise 41. I'm going to open it up. Erase everything. And I'm going to start. I'm going to import from JAVX Spring the J option pane. So I'm just going to type it in here. Import JAVX Swing from J option pane. I'm going to call this application Exercise 41. I'm going to put in my public static void main statement. Put that in. Go ahead and instantiate me a couple strings. In string 1, I'm going to put my first information method. Okay, so I'm going to put in here show input method. Now I don't need this extra stuff here. I can take that out. You can put it in if you want. That'll show up at the top. It'll show up as an information message, but we don't need it. Erase that. Okay. Now put in string 2. Once again, you don't need all this fancy stuff at the end. You can put it in if you'd like. And now we're going to do an if statement here to check to see if they left the first or the second dialog box empty. So we put in is empty, not as null, not as zero. Zero actually means something, right? Technically, you might figure that equals null would work, but you actually have to put in the method is empty. Let me enter, and we'll show what you want to put out if this is true. So here we go. Oh, I don't have to put no. I can put in here error, right? So we want that to come out. Of course, once again, you don't even have to have this on the end if you don't want it, error message. But I think it's kind of nice to show that this is an error, right? Show message. Okay. Just so you can do it, right? That's what these extra options in here in this message mean. That just means this goes at the top, and this shows that it's an error message. You'll see when we're done. Semicolon at the end, right? What happens now? We got to put the else clause in. Here now we're going to test to see if the strings are equal. You know, here once again, you don't use the double equals, you don't use the single equals, you put in dot equals. So what happens if they're equal? They're equal, you put enter. So you show that particular dialog box. We have an else statement in here. Okay, so there's your if else statement. Okay, now we end our method and we end our class. Pilot. Okay. All right, go ahead to fix that. These are methods. Make sure you have the parentheses after the is empties here so that it will compile on you. So I've got, once again, you don't have to have it the way I have it. So I'm going to compile this once again. Now I'm going to go run it. So I right click exercise 401 and do void main strings and go OK. So the first one, it tells me to put in text. So I'm going to put in text. Test. Click OK. The other one, I'm going to put nothing in there. See if that works. So see there it says error up there. This is my error box. It says stop fooling around. Okay. So we'll try running it one more time. So I'll try fist. Try fist again. They're equal. Okay, that one worked. So let me try something that's not equal. So they're different. Okay, so it worked. There you go. That's exercise 4.1. So let's look at 4.2. Exercise 4.2, we're supposed to draw the UML class diagram for listing 4.2. So here's listing 4.2. The name of the class is name change. Okay, it has the only method it has of its own is a main method. It doesn't produce anything, and it's a string. And so here we have our UML called name change. And here's its main method, and it produces what? A string, but doesn't produce anything. So we have a void method. Okay, so where else do we go? We're in the Javix swing, right? So it's in the J option pane. So we're looking for here. We're going to have an input dialog and two of those actually, and one show message dialog. So it's pulling from the J option pane, which is part of the swing, right? So the two methods we're using were the show message dialog and the show input dialog. So they both output a string, and the name of the object they produce is a string. Okay, so it's an indirect usage. Is there anything else that it uses? Let's look. Oh yes, we use system exit from the system. Okay, see the word system here? That's the system method. So let's look at that. There you go. We're referencing the system, and it's the exit method, and it produces an integer, and it's a void. So that's how it works. So this name change references the J option page, which references the system. Okay, that's how it works. There's your two exercises. See you in class.